But the big story that we are tracking today is coming from our country's top wrestlers who, guess what, are not on the mat but are on the streets. That's right, India's Olympic wrestlers who've done the country proud in recent times are up in arms and staging a dharna in the heart of the national capital against the Wrestling Federation of India. Wrestler Vinesh Phogat, the first Indian woman wrestler to win a gold medal for the nation in both Asian and the Commonwealth Games, has accused the president of the Wrestling Federation of India and multiple times BJP MP from Uttar Pradesh, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, of sexually assaulting other female wrestlers. Olympians like Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik, who have won medals at the Olympics, are among the many wrestlers who've hit the street in protest, accusing Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh of deliberately targeting, leveling death threats against our top athletes. So this is what we are seeing on the streets. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh on one side and the wrestlers of the country on the other. Ask yourself, India's top Olympians have now been taking to the street. The sports ministry has not said a word on this, and therefore questions will be raised. Where does the truth lie? It's our top story.
India's top wrestlers have hit the streets in protest. Those who have made headlines all around the globe had to skip practice and launch a strong protest in the national capital for them to be heard. Olympic winners like Bajrang Punia and Sakshi Malik were joined by many other wrestlers as they came together to take on the Wrestling Federation of India. The protesting wrestlers minced no words in their attack against the WFI and said that they were harassed by the federation's arbitrary laws.
सब अपने घर परिवार से इतना मतलब नहीं इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, इतनी दूर टूर्नामेंट होते हैं और जो नहीं खेलने जाता कोई इंजरी की तरफ बैन कर देते हैं। मैंने खुद देखा है फेडरेशन के बाहर छोटे-छोटे बच्चे ऐसे बैठे हैं कि हम माफी मिल जाए और हमें आगे खेलने का मौका मिले। मन करता है तो माफी मिलती है, मन नहीं करता है तो भगा दिया जाता है फेडरेशन से।
But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Vinesh Phogat launched a scathing attack against the BJP MP and WFI president Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh of sexual harassment.
कोचेज हैं जो फेडरेशन के खास हैं, जो खुद शोषण करते हैं, महिला कोचों के साथ में गलत व्यवहार करते हैं और वही कोचेज जो कैंप में लड़कियां होती हैं उनके साथ में बातचीत करवाते हैं लड़कियों की शोषण करवाने के लिए ही। और अध्यक्ष जी ने खुद पता नहीं कितनी लड़कियों का शोषण किया आज तक।
However, Brij Bhushan Sharan has rubbished the allegations and called the protests against him a well-planned conspiracy.
अगर हमारे कोचों के द्वारा या हमारे फेडरेशन के द्वारा या हमारे द्वारा कुछ ऐसा होता था तो ये खिलाड़ी तो प्रधानमंत्री जी तक भी चले जाते हैं, साई के डायरेक्टर से भी अपनी बात कह सकते हैं। तो ये सारी बातें अभी क्यों निकल करके आ रही हैं? और उसके बाद सामने कौन है ये भी नहीं है। किस खिलाड़ी के साथ किसने किया, कोच ने किसके साथ किया, हमने किसके साथ किया या और किसने किया, आखिर कोई सामने भी तो होना चाहिए।
The wrestlers have made it clear that they will not back down. But Brij Bhushan Sharan can be a difficult customer to handle, and this may well be a long standoff. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Think about it. Our wrestlers bring glory to the country, and today they are out on the street because they believe that the person who heads the Wrestling Federation, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who at one time, remember, was also a TADA détenu, is now in the Bharatiya Janata Party, is accused of sexual harassment, no less. The sports ministry, as I said, has been silent on the issue. We tried, in fact, to get the sports minister, Anurag Thakur. He brushed aside our camera at that moment. Rahul Mehra is sports activist and lawyer. He is joining me at this moment. Rahul has taken up the issue of the manner in which sports federations are run in this country. Rahul, is this a classic example once again of a federation which is run like a personal fiefdom, and therefore the sports persons have no say and eventually have to come on the street to register their protest.
Yeah, Rajdeep, every time I think I've seen the lowest of the low in Indian sports, and here comes another small chapter, this time a pretty huge one, and I'm glad all the sports persons for the first time are together in it. Let's call spade a spade. This is a gentleman who is deep-rooted in politics. Nothing wrong with that, but then I've been championing that, the mainstream politicians, the MPs, the MLAs and the others must stay out of the governance of sports in India. Our Honorable Prime Minister takes pride in having a direct connect with the sports persons. I hope this time he calls all 31 of them, doesn't waste even a minute further, and sorts this mess out. And in the interim period, the MP from Kesarganj, UP of the BJP, 3 times or maybe 4 times member of parliament, is asked to just step aside, and somebody else in the interim takes over.
So you're saying the Prime Minister
confidence.
Okay. So you're saying the Prime Minister must intervene. Here is a Prime Minister who claims he has a direct equation. He speaks directly to the players. Remember when the Indian hockey team, women's hockey team came fourth, the Prime Minister was immediately on the line talking to the players, reassuring them. The question now is that the players are on a dharna. They were on a dharna till about 8 p.m. in the winter, and they are going back, they say, on the street tomorrow at 10 a.m., claiming that the man in charge and indeed many other coaches in the Wrestling Federation are involved in sexual harassment. Now, there will be those, Rahul, who will say that, look, Brijbhushan Saran Singh deserves a fair hearing. He will also have to be heard. Should the Prime Minister be intervening at this stage, or should it be left to the Sports Minister of the country? Anurag Thakur, Sports Minister, is also very proactive, claiming that, we are pushing for more gold at the Paris Olympics next year. Should he, you can see those images, there is Anurag Thakur, and our reporter there is trying to buttonhole him. He is not speaking, so he refuses to speak on the subject. Shouldn't Anurag Thakur at least be the one to initiate an inquiry based on such serious charges, albeit against a BJP MP?
So ordinarily, Rajdeep, what you're saying is absolutely right. Why should the Honorable Prime Minister intervene at the outset? But, like I said, let's not make any mistake about this particular issue. He is a member of the ruling party. He is 4 times MP from UP. He's a very senior and a person who has a lot of clout within BJP. And therefore, unless and until it comes right from the very top, I don't think Mr. Anurag Thakur, being the junior minister, though in the cabinet, would be able to take lift even a small finger against this gentleman. So, which is why I said, and I'm not saying, you hold him guilty. I said, in order to ensure that there is a free and fair and a transparent and something which is seen to be free and fair kind of an investigation, you can't have the man at the helm of the affairs trying to influence or trying to, maybe there are certain issues, there are certain
so you're saying he has to step aside.
Be wiped off.
You're saying he should step aside till the inquiry at least is complete. He will have to prove these charges are false. Only then he can continue as the Wrestling Federation. I just want to stop you for a moment because our correspondent who's been tracking
and
this
one of the
story,
major reasons, Rajdeep, for that is Rajdeep, one of the major reasons for that is also the fact that you take the trust deficit in the administrator. How many people would believe what Mr. The president of WFI is actually coming in the open media and saying to the people of India? I don't see anybody taking him on his face value. And compare this with the people who have won at the Olympics, people who have given us glory.
I agree with you. I agree with you that the credibility, just a minute now,
in Commonwealth and Asian Games,
the credibility of the
credibility factor is huge in favor of the players.
Is much higher among the players than it is among the administrators at the moment. Our correspondent Nitin Srivastav at the moment is outside the house of Brijbhushan Saran Singh. Nitin, Brijbhushan Saran Singh is claiming this is a conspiracy against him. But why would the players, many of whom have given their lives to the sport, risked their careers to make such serious allegations. Clearly, the MP has much to answer for. What is the MP saying at the moment? You're there at his house. What does he have to say?
Well, actually, I'm inside his house and I was trying to get him on camera to actually speak about in large that what exactly he's thinking about all the allegations which is made against him. But he clearly denied that I'm not coming live on TV channels because I just wanted to keep it actually very clear that I'll just say what I wanted to. He actually don't want to respond on the harsh questions which actually we wanted to ask him. But one thing which is very clear, Rajdeep, is that wrestlers are very clear on their mind that they actually have united themselves and they come to the Jantar Mantar at Jantar Mantar.
How long has Brij Bhushan Saran Singh been the head of the Wrestling Federation now?
I think he started his journey in 2011, so it's almost 10 plus years. So till that time, he is the president. And this is not the first case actually. When he used to, slap wrestlers on the dais, he used to abuse wrestlers on the mat. And
he used to slap wrestlers. He used to slap. Nitin, you are telling me
yes,
that Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. There are instances where he has slapped wrestlers.
Yes.
Absolutely shocking.
Of course, there are videos which we actually played long back. It is a year ago when there was a camp, there was a national wrestling championship was going on, and he slapped the wrestler on the dais because he wanted to tell him that I'm the caliber person, I can actually compete here. But he slapped him.
Right.
He slapped him. So that's the thing. That is what he is doing. So nothing new for Mr. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. The allegations which actually I was there in the press conference and Vinesh broke down telling about her experience with the Wrestling Federation of India. She spoke in large. She said that I was not wearing the India jersey when I was competing in Commonwealth Games. Why? Because the quality of that jersey was not well. I just don't want it to be in uncomfortable situation during the bout. So my point is why these athletes are leaving the mat and protesting in a white bed sheet at Jantar Mantar. There's something which forced them to come out and speak about it.
But where is, you're at the house. He's obviously not willing to speak at the moment and come live on camera. Yes. Yes, what were you saying?
I'll just ask my cameraman to show, if you can just pan and show the door. We are just right out of at the door of Mr. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh. He is inside the room. He is not taking our questions. He is actually denying. He is saying, if you want, you can record. I will not come live. Why? My question is why?
Right, because he obviously doesn't want to take your questions live. Clearly, I want to tell people and viewers, Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, my friends, was for a long time a TADA detainee. He was accused in the 1990s of providing transportation to Dawood Ibrahim. Remember the Dawood Ibrahim, in case you don't know, underworld don, the man behind the 1993 Mumbai blast. Brij Bhushan Saran Singh at the time was a MP from Gonda in Uttar Pradesh, and he was accused under TADA of having provided transportation to some of the underworld members of the Dawood gang. Now, this person has switched parties. He is now in the BJP, and therefore questions must be asked. If the Prime Minister is saying that he wants to promote Olympian sport, then the first thing that Mr. Modi and indeed Anurag Thakur, Sports Minister, should do is to at least make Brij Bhushan Saran Singh step aside until all these serious charges are answered. As I keep saying, he's not alone. He's been in this wrestling federation for more than a decade, and many of our federation chiefs have been in these positions for a very long time. And we must ask, the athletes must come first, not the officials. That's very clear. I want to give a final word here to Rahul Mehra, because Rahul, we've got almost every federation headed by people who have been in those posts often for years on end, and they don't want to leave. Kissa kursi ka. You'll have to push a Brij Bhushan Saran Singh to get him to leave the wrestling federation.
So Rajdeep, there are two things out here. One, after a more than a decade-long legal battle, Delhi High Court recently came up with a landmark judgment where some of these issues, in fact, quite a few of these issues have been now settled. The IOA, Indian Olympic Association, has challenged it in the Supreme Court. Thankfully, the Supreme Court hasn't granted any stay and is holistically looking into reforms in Indian sports. And, the tenure, which was an unending tenure of 30, 40, 50 years, has now been reduced because of these, judgments of the court in my public interest litigation to a maximum of 12 years. So they can't have more than 3 tenures of 4 years each, a maximum of 12 years, which is still a very large tenure according to me. Nevertheless, Rajdeep, in this particular case, there are 2 things which immediately must be done. One, where is the sexual harassment committee? There is a code under the sports code that every sports federation, national sports federation must have. And they must have stringent code on sexual harassment. Where is that? What is the code? If WFI, the Wrestling Federation of India, doesn't have that code, that itself is a ground for Anurag Thakur as a sports minister to de-recognize or suspend the entire body of Wrestling Federation of India, not only the president. I would say invoke that clause, throw these people out, get new people. And the second takeaway from the judgment says, in my case, minimum 25% sports persons is now mandated by law, by the legal pronouncements of the court, where they have to be both in the General Assembly of the body as also in the Executive Committee. Please ask the Wrestling Federation of India, why is it that none of the Punyas and the Bajrangs and the Sakshis and the others are a part in the Executive or in the General Assembly of Wrestling Federation of India? This itself is a ground for suspension and de-recognition of the entire body. So de-recognize this body, have administrator. The administrator should be able to have, confidence of the players, overhaul this entire body and get players into this body so that, there is actual Swaraj in sports, self-governance of sports persons in sports, which have been fighting for a very long time now.
Let me leave it there. As I said, this is a moment for our sports administrators to reflect, for the sports minister not to stay silent as he is when we've tried to ask him questions. Anurag Thakur is known to be himself a sports person. So it's time that Mr. Thakur played with a straight bat. He's been a cricketer and ensured that action is taken against the Wrestling Federation, and at least Brij Bhushan Saran Singh is made to step aside until these very serious charges are answered. Simply unacceptable.